Hi, I'm Capt.Doug Stanford with Texas Fish Tips this week. Fisher.
The good old jetty's been still catching bull reds. Still a few tarpon around, but you have to find those fish. Sometimes they're moving, sometimes they're not. But go around the end of that north jetty and check it. If it's a little windy, get on the end of that north jetty, away from the north-south wind, and it's not going to be too bad on you. But there's still some good fish down through here to be had. Now, if it's windy from the north, you can get over on the south jetty, get behind it. If there's not too many fishermen and those bull reds are still stacked in there, that school will move in and move out. Just look for the birds. A lot of times they'll show you exactly where they're at. You'll see Spanish mackerel in there as well. Anywhere's up to 5 miles out where those first rigs are, there's all kinds of Spanish mackerel out there, and there's also kingfish mixed in out there as well. But anyhow, it's a good place to go fishing. Be careful and watch those waves so it's not too big on you out there. All right, over in the Lady Ann Channel, there's two little shipwrecks out here, the SS Worthington and the old brick ship that sank whenever they was building the lighthouse. Both of them are right here. There's still some good fish. You need to fish it on a slack tide or when the tide is not real moving, either in or out, either one, but as long as there's not a lot of current. Now, on incoming tide, there's still these schools of reds right here at the very corner, right here, Lady Ann Channel, going in by the shrimp channel. They like that finger mullet if you got it. They'll use cut mullet. They'll take a shrimp. They'll take a piggy perch if you got it. Whatever you got, throw it out there at them. Also, along these docks, along the old Fina docks, right down through here, there's still some bull reds. Incoming tide early morning is best. But be careful those pilings that's right here where they cut them off the old docks. Some of them are not showing, so just be careful in between there. You can get in between those and the rocks and the piling and the bulkhead, and you're fine. But fish that bulkhead down through there because there's a rock pile right there, and freeline shrimp or freeline finger mullet works really well in here. All right, good old Dagger Island right here on the back end has been holding some nice redfish. Cut mullet in the potholes. If the wind's not blowing too bad, it's been holding pretty good. Now, Pelican Island, these rocks are still holding some nice trout in here. If you can get in here with your boat, be careful. Watch those big ships because they can flip your boat. But keep an eye on them and be ready for it. Also, if there's a north wind blowing, there's this rig right here. It's been holding some nice sand trout. If you can't fish anywhere else, it's about 10 foot of water, but there's a lot of big sandies right there. If you want like sand trout, there you go. East Flats has been holding some redfish. These sandy pockets down through, these little islands down through, has been holding some nice reds. Cut mullet is the best thing you can throw at them right now. Cut ladyfish will work too if you can find them. But anywhere down through has been holding some nice redfish. All right, over in Ingleside, these little flats right along Old Berry Island, right down through here on either side of it's been holding some nice redfish. Cut mullet, finger mullet's your best bait. If you throw a shrimp in there, you might catch a trout or two. You can catch everything else, but a lot of small reds as well. But if you use that shrimp right along the shoreline, there's been some black drum hanging out right in here. Also, if you want to go fish these wells out here in Corpus Christi Bay, there's several of them, like Seven Sisters is the big one. There's Downtowner. Little Downtowner, all down through, they've been holding trout. We've been catching some big black drum in there, some small black drum, a lot of big sand trout, just about everything else, and everything's seems to be hitting shrimp. Another good place to go fish if you don't have a boat is old Indian Point Pier right here. They've been catching a lot of good trout at night, a lot of sand trout. If you like sand trout, you can load the pickup, the jig, and tip it with a little bit of shrimp, chunk it out and just drag it back slowly. And you're going to get all you can stand. There's some big ones in there as well. But there's also some of those big old uglies, some big black drum. They'll be mixed in there with them. It works really well. Anyhow, there's still some good fish to be had along the old Nueces Causeway down through here. Be careful in here. The kayakers being in here, but there's also some big waves from some of the ships. But there is some good fish to be had. We've been catching drum and trout both on shrimp.
Thanks for watching. I'm Capt.Doug Stanford.